Pow, and we are live.
Hey,
How you doing, my man?
doing great, brother. How about you?
Shit, I'm good. I'm living life.
Hey,
I'm good.
that's all you
So,
can do.
yep. So, this is for everyone that doesn't know. This is my podcast called Let's Have a Sip. So, pretty excited to get this shit rolling. Um, my name is Sean, and my guest is Ben. Ben, go ahead and introduce yourself real
Yeah,
real quick.
little synopsis or yeah, so
Yeah,
uh,
tell us who you are, what you're all about, what you do.
yeah, so my name is Ben Scott. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, originally. Met Sean back in the day in the old stomping grounds of college, and we've been in connection ever since. And so, I did a few things after college, but ended up to where I am now. My buddy of mine and business partner, we started our own company doing security for different companies, different entities, whether that be Google or University of Tennessee, a couple satellite campuses and everything for the government. And so we basically do any type of security you can think about. But our main bread and butter is turnstiles. So that's when you're on the subway and you scan, you go through those little three-prong things walking through. Those are turnstiles, but we
Mm-hmm.
those are kind of on the lower spectrum of things that we do. But we usually kind of focus being the more the higher end ones, but we do those as well. But we design security solutions for a bunch of different people, and been doing it for about 3 years now, and it's a lot, but it's fun. It's something different, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure. So, I know you had mentioned to me about a project that you had worked on in Atlanta. I don't know if you know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about or if you're able to talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
is that the grocery store thing there?
yes, sir. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that was super interesting. So, can you kind of expound on that a little bit more?
yeah. So, oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So, basically, it's a company called Nourish and Bloom. And I couldn't talk too much about it before, but now that it's kind of up and running, I'm allowed to do that. And some projects, if I bring them up, and I'll just give this, if I just give them a random name, like, oh, I've got this project called Dragon, it's because I can't talk about what it actually
Yeah.
is. But yeah, so it's a fully autonomous grocery store where it's open 24/7, and it's south of Atlanta. It's right past the Tyler Perry movie studios, and it's where a lot of Hollywood has come to Atlanta recently.
Mm.
This is where they shot Spider-Man, the newest one that kind of came out, and there's a lot more of that coming here. And so this kind of live work play area um, is that where they put up a lot of the actors, a lot of the cast, and a lot of the crew. And so it's got to be they want something available 24/7. So it's a completely unmanned grocery store, and we help design the entrance control, the security aspect of it, to with the turnstile. So you have to scan your a barcode. If you get an app, you're part of the club, so to speak. And so when you scan in, it registers you, like their cameras as well, motion sensing cameras that they basically, we've all played Call of Duty and all that stuff. When you
Yeah,
lock
yeah.
on to somebody, it's a little square on them. And so
Okay.
they give you like, basically they track you and you are a shopping cart. And then so we didn't design this part, but all the shelves have insanely high tech and really intricate scales, and so everything that is on there is weighed and measured, and so when you take something off, it knows exactly what you took. So you basically take whatever you want and you walk out, and because of the motion tracking and the cameras and the scales on the shelf, it picks up on exactly what you got, and then it just charges you for what you had when you leave, or what you took when you leave. And so it was a really big thing for us. It's the first black owned autonomous grocery store in the world. I know Amazon has a couple of these. We've talked to them about a few different things. And so, but this is the first of 400 locations. The next one we're doing is going to be for Tyler Perry, and then I think Georgia Tech is wanting to put something in on their campus as well coming up. So that was definitely kind of a mind meld. It was, when you get there, it's like, hey, everybody has the idea and everything is supposed to work out great, and you have all these, insanely technical minded people, and it was a labor of love. It was supposed to be, a few days, turned into 2 weeks, but we got it done. So it was really cool, and it's kind of cool to be a part of, um, and be a small piece of the puzzle, so to
Yeah,
speak.
that's dope, man.
Yeah, it
That
was.
makes me excited.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's cool, man. And you're seeing a lot of it, more and more, especially grocery stores and things as technology gets better, and as costs and everything get higher. As we're seeing, a lot of companies are looking at how to uh, you know put machines in parts of it where they don't have to have people, but can not eliminate those people, those workers, but repurpose them and give them better tasks than standing by a door. Or we're talking with a movie theater company right now that they're wanting to put you know turnstiles in and manage their visitor management via that way versus having someone just stand there and check tickets all day.
Hmm.
um, but also it does provide with how the world is, right? Security is a big thing whether we like it or not right now, because people are crazy and people are dumb. And when you can add that level of reassurance, um, and protect people, it's also very fulfilling in that way as well.
Awesome, man. I fucking love that shit, man. That's so cool. I love that. It's just cool to like because I've known you for a while, so to see that you're doing some cool shit like this, I love it. I love it. Like
Yeah, man.
because I know you said that you worked at if I'm not mistaken, it's a subsidiary of a UPS called Coyote Logistics, right?
Yep. Yep. That
And
was
so
that was fun.
so so you kind of explain like how it was working there, and then your transition to what you do now, and did what you did at Coyote Logistics, did it help you with your current job?
Yeah, no, 100%. Right out of college, actually, I went to a company called Accutech, which is a wire and cable distribution um, company, kind of like a Walmart for electrical contractors. Every type of, we. It's funny now because my father-in-law started the company, and it was a nice job out of college, and then no, now we still buy stuff through them, which is funny. Some of my old counterparts who I worked with there are higher up now, and I get to deal with them on a daily basis. But so I started out there, and then we when we got married, we moved to Chattanooga. And Coyote was definitely, it was hard, but it was good because it was, you know, for lack of a better term, I mean, you're just on the phone all day because
Yeah.
we're brokering freight. So you're calling truckers and saying, "Hey, I have a load from Coca-Cola in Atlanta, and it's got to go to out of Nashville, right? It's got to go to Nashville. Got to go for the Titans game or something." And so you're calling truckers who so their technology is insane that they are in the area, and say, "Hey, I've got this load going from here to here. Can you do it for this much?" And you're given that freedom to basically make that call on how much you want to pay them, and obviously within a window and a limit. But I think that when you're calling truckers, road warrior guys who are on the road, who they're about their money, they don't want to waste
Hmm.
time doing all that stuff. So you call, you have some guy cuss you out, say, "Oh, fuck off, get out, why stop calling me?" And then they hang up on you, and you're just like, "Oh, okay." And you got other guys who want to talk for 8 hours because they're in the truck all day. But with that and just having to constantly be on the phone, I mean, I think it was like 180 calls a day, 3 hours of phone time were the KPIs on that, and it was a lot. And so, but with that, it got me so comfortable with rejection of out of 180 calls a day, right? In a week, who knows how much that is? I'm not that good at math, but you're maybe getting maybe 10 to 15% of those actually landing and being orders, so to speak. So I think the biggest thing was it got me out of my head, and also, used to rejection, like, hey, you're going to call somebody and they're not going to want to talk to you every single time they see a number pop up on their phone, especially one they don't know or whatever, or even if they see it and they know it, they may not want to talk to you. But also, with what I do now, starting a company and, you know, having to market from scratch and, talk to people and then be like, well, you guys are new. Why, we don't know you. Like, there's another company that's massive and they actually have a storefront and nationwide capabilities. Like, well, shit. I mean, we'll fly anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
well, we can get there. We got one. We have a branch manager who's out in California who handles the Western U.S. and so it's kind of figuring how to think on your feet and also just learn different kind of sales tactics and to be able to adjust on the fly when talking to people in different spaces and how where they come from or how they are and just learning how to navigate things on the phone and then also dealing with that rejection I think was huge for me because um, nobody likes to just call random people and
No, no.
get told to screw off half their day.
Yeah,
Uh,
cold calls suck
yeah.
balls. I agree.
If anybody says otherwise, they're lying.
Hmm.
Um, and like unless you do it long enough until you start making a shit ton of money, then yeah, you can say you like it. But
Yeah.
um, I never made a shit ton of money off of cold calls. So um, but yeah, so it was a staple, I'd say, and also I saw how well the onboarding process was for me as a new employee, and seeing how things were run there. Now being a person who's making those decisions for my own company, I draw from those different experience that I had at each company that I worked with, and seeing what worked and what didn't work. And so kind of always being a sponge because I knew that I never wanted to. I'm not a big office guy, not a big cubicle guy, not a, I like being my own boss. Um, and I knew that I was going to do something and start something. I didn't know what it was at all. I for sure as heck didn't know it was going to be turnstiles, which half of the population I guarantee doesn't know what they are. And then you show them a picture, like, oh yeah, those things at the subway. So I mean, that's the easiest way to explain it. It's not sexy. It's not, ooh, but it's um, you know, yeah, I enjoy it, and it's nice, and I never knew that I was going to end up here, but learning constantly and noticing little things that I didn't like from companies from the past, I'd say definitely would had a huge role in how we do things now. Um, but it definitely Coyote had a big impact, and I love the company. I mean, I still, I right now I still handle all the logistics for my current company, and which I know because of that, and so I'm easily able to save, uh, you know, thousands of dollars via shipping and things because I still have that feather in my cap, so to speak, and that knowledge for that I had from before. So I can figure out you know there's always something from any job that you had previously. Like every single job that I've had before, what I do now, I use an aspect or a piece of that every single day. Which is super valuable, which saves a ton of money in the long run, and it provides we provide a lot more value because of that.
Hell yeah. I love it,
Yeah.
man. So I don't think I heard, or I don't think you said it. If you
Mhm.
did, that's my fault. But what is your company called?
Called SES Integrators. Um,
SES Integrators, and y'all are
SES,
based out of Atlanta,
based out
correct?
of Atlanta. Yeah, we were
Okay.
Southeast Entry Systems beforehand, but after dealing with that we were that under that name for about a year and a half, I think 2 years. So it's kind of a, I guess, quote unquote recent change. But we realized that a lot of the traffic we were getting, we spend a lot of money on marketing, ton of money on marketing for Google and, so if you type in turnstiles or, one of the manufacturers that, we're up there, and that's how we actually do get a lot of business like that. And so we figured, having the name Southeast Entry Systems, it really limited to us because you have somebody in, you know, New Mexico looking at it, looking for turnstiles and say, oh, it says Southeast. discount us immediately because they're not in the Southeast. So we flipped it up to SES Integrators instead, just to kind of be able to cast a broader net and not be written off just because of a name.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, because I mean, you gotta not that I fucking love it, man. I love seeing people that I know work hard and accomplish like awesome things. Cause like dude, I've been hyping you up to my girlfriend. Like, oh man, I'm so excited for this podcast because it's like you don't really hear about like autonomous grocery stores. I mean, you might like on Instagram or some social media somewhere, and it's like that's not. It's totally futuristic as shit.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
and and for it to be the first black owned autonomous grocery store, like, dude, that's awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man,
Loved it.
it's
So
it's really cool, and I actually, I didn't know that was the case until I saw it on NBC on the news, and they were just talking about it, and they said that I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't know that. I was like, oh, I mean, but it's not something that comes up in conversation, like,
yeah,
oh, thanks, like by the way, this is so you're like, oh wow, but it is really cool to be a part of that. It is historic, and especially it being a local Atlanta business as well, and it's really cool to be a part of, and offer them support along the way, and then also we're also planning on the other stores right now, so it's cool to be a part of, and just to be able to you know whether or not each store is a store by store basis. It's like we don't have a contract for all 400, right? So it's ours to lose. The other jobs, but you know what's cool about it is that we were a staple in the inaugural one, and that we offer support moving forward as well. And so now there's no reason that we wouldn't get or be a part of the rest of them, but I don't think it's healthy to believe that everything's guaranteed, especially if one job goes well and everything's good. Definitely you know not I guess pessimistic kind of view, but also nothing's guaranteed, so it's um, the best job is the next one.
yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah, and
it's
I like that your mindset's that way because you don't want to be naive and think like, oh yeah, like since I did their first job, like they're gonna keep me on. So
Mhm.
yeah, I like that. So it's funny. This is totally off topic, but
Yeah.
so as you know, I just started this podcast and I totally forgot to do the fucking intro,
Uh,
like the intro video. Because I was so pumped up to do this, man. Like you have no idea. I've been fucking I'm walking down the street and talking to people about it, like, hey, you need to watch this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this little intro in real quick.
Clap it,
Let you
bro.
look at it. So
Heck yeah.
that's it. So
I like the graphic,
should
man.
should have did that about 5 seconds in, but you know what? You
Hey,
live and
you're
you
good.
learn. So
You're good. We're here
um,
now. That's all that
yeah.
matters.
So, but yeah. So as you know, the podcast is called Let's Have a Sip. So what are you sipping on right now?
I'm sipping on a little bit of Don Julio.
Ooh, okay,
My,
fancy.
my old pal Don. It was a gift. I did not buy it.
Hmm.
I actually had the smoothest uh, tequila that I've had to date. And I'm a big margarita guy. My wife and I are. We love margaritas. We probably hit every Mexican joint within a 30-mile radius of our place. And it's the Luna Azul. It's the it's like a kind of a terracotta almost with like it's white with blue painting on it, and there's a metal bell on the top.
I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. I've always heard that shit so good.
I was at a
Like,
housewarming party for one of my buddies, and somebody brought that as a gift, and we brought like Espolón. It was like $35. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I got you." I was like, "I know how much that bottle is. I'm not that good of a friend." Uh, but he's like, "Oh yeah, you wanna have a shot?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And that water, water smooth.
yeah, so I don't know too much about tequila, but I know
Mhm.
the brand that you're talking about, and
Yeah.
there is they have a different bottle which is all black. Have you seen that
Yep.
one?
Yep.
What's the difference in that?
I could not tell you. It's probably just more expensive because it's cool and it's black. And it's funny. My wife and I, we were actually just came from Mexican, actually having the margaritas, and they have the Luna Azul has different it might be a reposado or something. Or I don't know if they what they've got their hands in, but either way, if it's in that bottle under that name, I will try it.
Yeah,
I do not care.
I feel
And
that.
I told her, I was like, we just got to get a bottle for the house. Just when just keep it, and when the Bengals play, we'll have it when they win.
Oh, big Bengals fan, huh?
Dude, broke my heart. This
Poor,
broke my
poor
heart this
Joe.
year.
Poor Joe.
Hey, I
Yeah,
mean, at least they made it. They hadn't. So I was nervous that it was going to be the 49ers again because the Bengals have been to the Super Bowl two other times. They lost both times to the 49ers. I was a little nervous, but it's hard not to be happy for old Matty Stafford there.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah. It's funny because like I'm big Joe. I love Joe. Joe Burrow
uh,
is the bomb. Like
just
I'm
shiesty.
if you didn't know, I'm from New Orleans. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if yeah. So
I know that.
he went to LSU. I'm a big LSU fan, and it's funny. Matthew Stafford actually went to a high school like less than 5 miles down the road from my house.
No way.
It was super. I had no idea because like apparently he's like everybody was like Matthew Stafford's going to the Super Bowl around here. I'm like, okay, like was he from here? Yeah, he went to high school here. I'm like, oh, excuse me, I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. So, but yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, man. So speaking about like what you're drinking.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are you sipping on?
So this is a bottle called Smoke Wagon, and it's funny. Like before you got on, I
Hmm.
actually I got the same. It's literally the same thing. It's just one's clear, one's an amber bottle.
Okay.
Out of all the bottles I have, I think about. I was talking about this earlier with my girl. I don't know how many bottles exactly that I have. I gotta say, I probably have over like 120, maybe. I'm a big whiskey guy, man. I love the
Yeah.
shit. And my mom's always like, "You're a fucking alcoholic," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." But thank you for believing in me, mom. Um,
Hey, all the bottles aren't empty.
yeah. So this is, but the reason I brought this up is because like
Mhm.
out of all the bottles I have, this is the third bottle that I've killed in about a year.
And it's
So
called.
like,
I'm
because
gonna write.
like
I'm gonna write this down. What? Hold on. What's it called?
it's called Smoke Wagon,
Smoke wagon.
and then there's different kinds. So this
Okay.
specific bottle is called Uncut, Unfiltered.
Uncut.
Uncut,
Mhm.
unfiltered. So you're gonna have different batches. So they keep
Got
X amount of barrels
it. Mhm.
for each batch. So this is I mean, it probably doesn't fucking mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know too much about it. But batch number 82, and then this one that I'm drinking on right now is batch number 134. So
It,
it's so good, man. I mean, but the thing that I try to tell people, and I'm a noob. I am a super noob when it comes to drinking. So
Mhm.
the thing I try to tell people is like you kind of want to start with a lower proof and then kind
Yep.
of build your way up. So one thing that I kind of got into since I moved to Dallas, I've always been into it, but I haven't really kind of like really dived into it too much. Is kind of really understanding what I'm eating,
Mm.
and by that, like what does it smell like? What am I tasting? And the same thing with drinking as well.
Yeah.
So like let me rewind a little bit because we're not talking about food. We're talking about liquor. So like what am I smelling?
Hmm.
Okay, all right. Okay, that smells good. Okay, what am I smelling? And then the same thing about drinking. So, all right, that's good. So, what am I tasting? Is it good? Okay, cool. Why is it good? Why do I like it?
Yeah.
Same thing if it were bad. Like, okay, that's a terrible pour. Why do I not like it?
Yeah.
So, that's been kind of one of my hobbies that I've been into lately is
Yeah.
going to good restaurants, which Dallas is where I'm at right now, Dallas,
Hmm.
Texas. Got a lot of good places to go to.
Oh, but
So, um, we all on the weekends we're always trying to find good spots to go to, get some good food, good drinks. Doesn't
yeah.
always have to be alcoholic drinks. It's like
Hmm.
I love coffee. Go in there, get some good coffee, some good brunch, good whatever. But when it comes to this, I'm dude, I love a good pour bourbon. This shit's so
Dude,
good, man.
I hear you, man.
And
Have you had Basil Hayden's yet?
I have not tried Basil Hayden's, but yeah, I need to buy a bottle of it because I'm
Yeah,
open to trying a whole bunch of different stuff. So
Basil Hayden's is really good. My buddy got that for us as a housewarming gift. We just got our house back in November, and the bottle went quicker than I expected it to do. Expected it to do. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's smooth, man. I'm a big Basil Hayden fan guy. I think it's like 60, $70 bottle,
yeah.
but it's definitely worth it.
Mm.
It's good.
So yeah, I know a little bit about Basil Hayden's because I know so Basil Hayden is a little bit more of a lower proof. So like
Mhm.
if you like stuff like that, you would like. So we got Eagle Rare. I don't know if you ever tried this or not, but I'm not sure what the market's like in Atlanta. But like this might be a kind of a hard bottle to find down there because like
Mhm.
this is what's called a Buffalo Trace product.
Okay.
Buffalo Trace is it's just it's a it FOMO. That's all I got to say. It's like if
Okay.
people are looking for it, it's like okay, it's like yeah, it's FOMO is what's. Let me move this little Spider-Man comic. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I love comic
Yeah, I
books.
remember that when you the comics, man. I've got a couple vintage old Superman ones
I'm a
locked up.
big Marvel fan, and we'll get to that. We'll get to Batman in a second because I know you went to go see that earlier. But another
Uh,
good one is Blanton's. This is a barrel pick, so like um, Blanton's is good, but there's so much better stuff out there than Blanton's.
mhm.
But it should again, it comes back to FOMO because this is a Buffalo Trace product.
Yep.
So um, this is a good low proof whiskey.
Mhm.
I think you'd like it. So
Okay.
you can write that down if you want, but good luck fucking finding one in Atlanta. So
Yeah,
because if you're gonna like, I am not going to pay what's called secondary prices for a bottle of bourbon because
mhm.
secondary prices on some of the shit that I got behind me is flipping insane.
Yeah,
Some people will buy this bottle for freaking $300. Now I paid 50 for it. Like that's
that's a hard pass on me,
yeah,
brother.
exactly. So like unless you're like some sort of like connoisseur and you're collecting all these bottles, cool. Go ahead and buy it. But like no, no, I'm
Yeah.
good now.
Yeah.
You can pass me, dog. I'm good. So, but yeah, I'll have to send you a couple of other. Well, no, you're more of a tequila guy though. So like, I mean, but I mean, if you want to like kind of branch into bourbon, I can send you some a
Well,
list of some stuff. But
so I don't discriminate. I will say my go-to drink of choice if I'm not at a Mexican restaurant, I'm a gin and tonic guy.
okay,
I'm a heavy gin and tonic guy. So my favorite, and I might get people might say something about this, but Hendrix and tonic
I love it. I was just
with
getting ready to say
with a
that.
couple slices of cucumber.
Yeah,
That which when you say like cucumber, like wait, what? I just try it. Mm. Dude, Hendrix tonic with cucumber, most refreshing drink out there. I mean, I like Tangeray a lot too. Um, yeah, and I've had the aviation gin, Ryan
yeah. Run
Reynolds gin.
Reynolds. Yep.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. It's not bad, but I feel like it goes into the category of celebrities, making a booze
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
which I've heard some things about the rocks, Terramana, and I think is it Kendall Jenner, whatever, or 818 as well,
Yeah.
tequila. But the aviation gin, I got it because I like Ryan Reynolds. It's as far as an actor and as a person, I think he's cool. But yeah, the gin, comparatively just to what's out there, um, you know, Hendrix and Tangeray, I think are just the staples.
Yeah, and no, I totally agree with you. Like on in regards to like celebrities, kind of like attaching their name to like a particular liquor, if it's bourbon, vodka, whatever. Like it, it's kind for me, it's a turn off. Like if there's like don't get me wrong, I love Ryan. That's my man crush. That's my jam. But
Yeah.
like when I kind of figure out like a celebrity is attaching their name to like a whiskey or some other type of like liquor,
Hmm.
I'm initially turned off. Like it
Yeah.
just whatever. But like when it comes to like buying certain types of like spirits and stuff like that, like I don't know if I had mentioned this to you or not, but nah, I was having a conversation with someone else earlier. So me and my girl went to this speakeasy here in
Hmm.
Dallas, and this speakeasy was actually the first place that we met.
That's
And
dope.
we went there about 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and kind of like a hey, let's just go here, kind of like an anniversary type of thing, and
Yeah.
they had some Pappy Van Winkle in there.
Mm.
So
Happy.
you know what Pappy is then,
I know
right?
what Pappy
Okay,
is.
so I saw they had some bottles in there, and been doing pretty good at work and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little pour of this. And but there's I don't know exactly how many different types of Pappy there are, but 5 different types I think. I don't
Yeah.
know, but um, I tried one of the better ones according to a lot of people I've talked, and it was super good. But I've had way better. I've had way better pours in bottles of a drink, and just because I didn't like it too much doesn't mean the next person won't. Because
Yeah.
like my palate or someone else's palate might be super different. So, but you
Yeah.
know,
And at some point too, I think when it comes to actually across the board, liquor, clothes, whatever. I mean, you're paying for a name.
mm-hmm,
So I mean, it's like uh, Nike. They make great stuff. They know what they're doing for sure. You get a dry fit shirt from Nike, it's going to be great. You go to Walmart and you get a Russell dry fit shirt, it's going to work just as good. I mean, work just like okay, you're
yeah,
going to sweat in it. It's going to get wet. But both of them, it's going to happen. There's just a check in one and an R on the other,
yeah,
and that's that's a lot of things too that with you know even in like turnstiles and stuff too with it it's that's a conversation that I use that analogy a lot because a lot of people there are really big turnstile companies and names and stuff out there, but a lot of them source from China, and it's cheaper, sure, like yeah, then but they have a name built around it, awesome, but it's you're paying for a name at that point, and then also when it's getting here too. Nobody wants to touch it because it's not, you know, from here and technical support and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, you can, you know, pay for something under this name, but you're going to get the exact same output or
yeah,
ROI on something different. But yeah, no, I definitely think that even with like Johnny Walker and stuff too. I think you know it's okay personally.
yeah,
Like that, that kind of stuff is just, at some point you're paying for a name, or you can. I mean, I like this Don Julio, but I also have a another tequila that is way cheaper. That, in my personal opinion, tastes better.
yeah. Because
Um,
like price means literally nothing when it comes to buying certain things. Well, to a degree, you pay for what you get, but
yeah.
at the same time, it's like coming back to that Pappy, like yeah, it was good, but dude, I paid fucking $70 for 2 ounces.
Mm.
It was fine, but I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Work
And
must
so
be going real well then.
I'm not doing that again. Well, our fourth quarter earnings at work were pretty good,
All
so
right, all right.
I was like, you know
All
what?
thanks to you.
My girlfriend's name's Courtney. I was like, Courtney, I'm doing it. So, what do you
Hey,
want? Because you can get
there,
whatever you want.
there you
She
go.
got some. She's super cool. She was like, I'm not. You can give me something cheap. I don't give a fuck. So
So
I was like,
Jack,
all right.
Jack.
Well, she's more of a wine girl.
Oh,
She's super big into wine,
mm,
and this is kind of a highlight to her because nobody would really notice. And I need to, dude, I am lagging so hard in here, but you know what? It's all good. So
It's all good.
there is this wine that she really loves.
Oh,
It's
I
called
need hit
dude.
me with
It's called Opus. The glare on this is terrible, but
Opus.
it's called Opus One. This particular bottle is from 2017, and
Mhm.
apparently they don't make this bottle anymore. I'm glad I got it for her when I did because it's apparent. I forget where I heard it, but apparently it's like doubled or tripled in price, and I'm like,
Is that a cab?
yeah, I think so. Red wine. I think it's a cab. You know what? You stumped me. I don't know, Ben. I'm sorry. I want to say it is a Cabernet, but I do not know. But I've never tried it, and I'm not super into wine. There's a couple of wines that she's let me try, and I'm like, okay, that's good, but like bourbon's my jam, man. Like you
Yeah,
can't for me you can't no, nothing beats it. So,
I hear you.
but yeah, if you're, I'm assuming your girl likes wine.
Yes, dude, and
Okay.
and and I've always, I've never come from money. Never,
Mm-hmm.
it's always kind of been uncomfortable for me to talk about that. And now that it's funny, like, now when you start, making a little bit as well, it's old habits kind of die hard. It's like we still Aldi. You guys have Aldi. They've got a wine called Winking Owl. It is
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
two
Get
dollars
that
and
box,
95 cents. All of
dude.
them.
I used to buy the shit out of like the blend boxes they had
Mm-hmm.
because they'll sell those boxes every now and again. Dude, it's
Yeah,
so
man.
cheap.
That's the thing. It's like, but upgraded a little bit. Kroger. They've got some. I know Apothic. Their Cabernet's on sale right now for 887 or 897 or something right
Yeah.
now. So that's been a staple in the past few weeks. But yeah, no, she's big red wine. Not as much white wine. White wine's tough for me, man, because
Yeah.
it just tastes
Very.
like juice and it's refreshing
Yep.
and it's cold and I can just slam it down. And so I tend to just stick with the reds personally.
Yeah, yeah. My girl's the same way. Her dad's the same way, and they're super into red wine. All her friends are the same way, but I just can't get into it. I'll drink it sometimes if we're, doing something a little fancy or
Hmm.
whatever. But nah, I'll have to ask her about certain things that she likes, which I kind of know certain things that she likes, not, but
Hmm.
I'll have to get a good list and send it your way.
Yeah,
Maybe
100%.
maybe y'all can kind of get something different y'all never tried or something, and
Yeah,
vice versa. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, but
all about it, dude.
yeah, hell yeah,
Um, Also, I did have another recommendation for you. Nulu. Have you had it?
bro, bro, that shit is so good,
Nulu is good.
dude. I'm so glad you said that because I got a buddy of mine that runs a liquor store
Hmm.
uh, uh, here in Dallas, and
Yeah.
he has an excess amount of Nulu in there, and I'm like, dude, like people are sleeping on this shit right now.
Hmm.
It's I never heard of it until I came here, but once I had it, I'm like, oh my god,
Dude, it is nectar of
it's
the gods. It
dude.
is
I am so happy that you said that. I am
Hey,
so
I'm
happy.
not a huge bourbon guy, but with bourbon I do know, it's good. I'll
Oh,
say, in
dude.
my opinion.
Well, because around here, like you can the regular Nulu, like the straight bourbon,
Hmm.
is it's very easily accessible, which I'm super happy about because it's so
Yeah.
good. But they have like a toasted. I don't know if you ever had toasted whiskey before, but
Hmm.
so it's like um, don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but it's like charred in like toasted barrels or something like
Oh yeah,
that or
I know what you're
whatever.
talking
And
about now. Yeah,
so they got that. I got a bottle of that as well, and then I got a bottle of their toasted rye whiskey. Oh my god, dude!
slap.
I can go about. I can go on. I can go on about this all night, and I know you got a flight in the morning, but
No, you're
oh my
good,
god,
man. You're good, man. No,
oh, it's so good.
dude, and
It's a
that's
it's a playground for me. So
yeah. No, I hear you. No, and I meant to ask you. So, yeah, on at least because you said the flight thing, and for work and everything. I know that that you do. What you manage. Is that like a lot of and is it mainly that one hub, or do you have to go out to different hubs and kind of help out? Taking care of business that way as well.
Okay, so I'm like exclusive to like one center, but like
Okay.
it really depends. So um, it's not really my call if I go to a different center or not. But uh, let's see. So like let's say so recently here in Dallas we've had an ice storm.
Yep.
So let's say heaven forbid it got super terrible and then the ice storm lasted for a week or something like that. Obviously that's going to put us behind because you know my next door neighbor or people all around this area, Karen and everyone around here are going to keep ordering shit.
Yep.
So ordering does not stop.
Yep.
If we're down for a week, that's going to put us behind. So I'm sure you get that, you know,
Hmm.
with your background and stuff like that. So let's say so Mardi Gras just happened, right? So Mardi Gras, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Um, so Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday happened, and it was earlier this month. I don't remember exactly what date. So the center that I worked in Tennessee,
Hmm.
they sent a guy there to go help with offsetting a lot of the
Mm.
bullshit that was going on during Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Because down there, they shut schools down. A lot of businesses are closed and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So UPS and every other logistics company is going to have to kind of work around all that stuff. So they'll UPS will send people based off of their management resources in the area to certain areas if they need help or something like that. But like here recently, I have not been sent to a lot of different areas to go work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really answering your question that
No,
well
no, no. That
because
that is it. I was just wondering if you had to do a bunch of traveling on kind of what your thoughts on it, because I was, with doing this, I realized, I had to start traveling a lot.
mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, I was in San Antonio. Last week, I was in Miami. I'm flying to DC tomorrow, and that at first you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting to
Yeah, yeah,
travel for work. I'm not stuck inside or whatever. But just I'm more and more realizing like. My father told me, he's like, yeah, it's fun when you first start, but then it just becomes like tedious, and
yeah,
it's like, well, I miss my wife, I miss my dogs, and
yeah, yeah.
it's
No,
not like you get to experience anything. I'm
yeah,
there
no,
for 24 hours.
yeah, no, I get that. So before I actually moved to Texas, I was kind of like a utility management employee
Hmm.
because I was single, and UPS knows that. I didn't have any kids or anything like that. Still don't. But I was always like the first at the desk. So I was all about it whenever I was there because, like, I've been to several different states with UPS, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it, and I'm very proud to be able to represent a company like UPS. And, I've been to Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, Ohio, Kentucky, obviously Texas. I've been to a lot of different states to work to, represent UPS. And,
Yeah.
it was cool, but like, once you get into a routine of like, obviously you're married, so, you know, to a degree, traveling could be a hindrance.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you literally just said it. You miss your dogs, you miss your wife, all that stuff. So, um, right now, like, I'm super straightforward when it comes to everything in life.
Hmm.
Just because I'm being recorded doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm gonna be someone I'm not because
Yeah.
I'm just not like that. Like,
That's
I'm gonna
good.
tell my job straight up, like, look, yo, like, you know, you can send me here, but I'm probably gonna tell you no. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. Like, I got shit going on. Like,
Yeah.
find someone else. Fire me. I don't care. I'll find a different job.
Yeah.
But heaven forbid that it happens. But shit. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, um, did I not enjoy traveling? Hell no, I love that shit. When when UPS was paying for everything, I was
Hmm.
all about it.
Yep.
I know Papados is a thing down in Atlanta. I was
Oh
hitting
yeah.
up Papados every other day. I'm like, let's get it, baby.
Dude, my thing
I'm
is B Dubs. Like Buffalo Wild Wings, man. There's always one across from any hotel that I'm staying at, or just in the vicinity. So like, when I'm traveling during the week, if I'm going there on like I think it's Tuesdays or Thursdays or both. It's 50 cent wing night, so I'm always there.
oh yes,
Um, but yeah, dude, it's like it's funny because like, oh, you get to go and travel, and like, oh, the company's paying for it. It's like,
yeah,
well, in some sense, I am as well. So it's like,
yeah,
like it's nice, but like, oh, I got the company card, but it's like, well,
yeah. You got a per diem, so I mean, you can't
yeah,
spend it. Yeah, you're
but
yeah,
it's yeah, man. No, that's the thing. Like, traveling has been, it's funny when I first started. My wife, she was like, "Oh, you're gonna be gone. You're going whatever," and then like with what I do, it's like I got a call for the reason I'm going to DC is because I've got there's a satellite facility over in Maryland that is 15 minutes from the airport, and they need security and everything kind of bumped up and fixed because they've had their system and their security measures and turnstiles for like 15 plus years. So it's about time to get something different.
yeah.
And I was in contact with this lady 3 months ago, and then had a call. I got turned on to their company from somebody else who I knew, and so I reached out. I'm like, hey, just want to let you know, I know you guys are in this space. You're a general contractor. You do security and things like that. This is what we do. This is our expertise. If anything comes up, just let me know. And uh, they reached out to me on Friday, gave me a call of the blues, like, hey, no, we talked before. Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I remember you. It's like, well, there's a job that we have one in Maryland, and we're doing a site walk, and on Tuesday, and there's turnstiles. Um, can you be there? And these are like, do you have people in the Northeast? And we're not a big company. Um, there's less than 15 of us, and it's like, oh, are your people up in the northeast available? It's like, well, there's nobody up there. I was like, but yeah, they're tied up. I can get up there. But yeah, but that's how quick it is. Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, I got to walk downstairs and tell the old lady like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to DC on Monday. I'll be back Tuesday night. So that kind of stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it's what's nice about it, is like, okay, yeah, cool, you get to see other places for a split second. But another thing too is that, uh, you know, even just being gone, just not being available, that during like a flight is a lot because we are so small. Um, like when I was flying back from Miami, I got on the plane with I think 10 emails, and I landed with 45, and so a lot of it two with traveling because I've got hardcore ADD and ADHD, like nobody's business. My leg's been jittering this whole time we've been talking. Um, but it's taught me too about a lot about time management and figuring that out because used to be on medication for it, didn't like how I was on it. I didn't eat and I was a dick and
Yeah,
really irritable, and so but it's also had kind of forced myself to figure it out, which has been tough, but it's definitely doable. Which I see so many people and things getting taking ADD meds or other things to cope with stuff. Which some stuff you definitely need to, but it's been a lot of you know looking yourself in the mirror and like, okay, can you focus for an hour and
yeah,
get stuff done? Um, but yeah, I was just wondering because the travel part of it really was tough for me in the beginning because I
yeah,
was horrifically non-productive for the first bit there, and so I kind of gets forced to figure it out.
yeah. It can be tough, man. No, I totally get that. And like, you know, one thing a lot of people, specifically males, don't do is like talk about their fucking problems.
Hmm.
As I've gotten older, dude, no. If I got a problem, I'm gonna talk to you about it. Like,
Yeah,
don't let this haircut and whatever fool you.
yeah,
But it's good to talk about stuff like this because, like, yeah, no, traveling sucks to a degree, especially if you got a significant other.
yeah,
And for, your life is totally different than mine. So like, you're literally running a business, so lot of weight. And if there's any advice that I can give you, which I'm a little bit older than you, but like, I mean, when it comes to like running a business, you got a little bit more experience than I do. But if there is any advice that I can give you, man, is like take a step back and make sure your health is priority number one. Because if you're not healthy, you can't run shit.
yeah,
So there's only so much you can handle, and the best thing you can do is like surround yourself with people that are strong, making you better and level up. And you know, not saying that you don't have those people around you, but
yeah,
it's business is business, and if you're running a business, you got to make sure you got the strongest people, whether it be like logistics side yourself or financial, whatever. You got to make sure you got some A1 people on deck. So
yeah. I mean, and I fully believe the saying is you turn into who you surround yourself with,
yeah,
and that's why I think my wife Mackenzie and I work so well because she pushes me. She does real estate, and she's fantastic at her job, and she pushes me constantly, and I push her as well, and obviously in an encouraging manner, but also it's taken her, and because I put so much on myself, and even with bringing people on to the company, and having to give responsibilities that had before to someone else. You kind of overthink and not micromanage, but you I mean, I guess you kind of do technically micromanage because you don't want to let it go.
yeah,
And you think if you want to do something right, you got to do it yourself. So
yeah,
she's been such a huge support, and it's insane how just being like, hey, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath,
yeah.
and you just and in having that, and taking a step back, and you know taking a breath is so important. And on top of the health thing as well, like you know I'm definitely not The Rock. I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. And working out for 3 hours. And well, I also don't get paid to look like The Rock. I wish I did, so I could. Um, but just going to the gym for an hour, 30 minutes a day, doing something, I think has been really big for me and her as well, because we do it together. But without that, and then I think look good, feel good, play good.
Yes.
The old adage. So when you work out, and you feel good about yourself, and you get those kind of endorphins from that workout, and you're able to focus then kind of the rest of the day, and also take care of yourself, and whether you realize it or not, it does have an extreme effect on your day to day,
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
especially if you're running a business or not or whatever, yeah, taking care of yourself has got to be that got to be a top priority, because
Yeah,
don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of you know anything else really.
exactly. So yeah, you just gotta find that anchor, man. And once you can kind of find out how you can balance everything, you'll be just fine. I mean, how old are you? Like 29, 28?
I'm 28. I'll be 29 July.
Bro, dude, I'm proud of you, man. That's
Thanks.
awesome. I love it. I love it.
I, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely it's been. I mean, it's easy to sit here now and talk to you and say how who everything's great, and we don't, but it definitely. I mean, wife and I have gotten in fights about stuff, and me working
yep.
too late, traveling, all that stuff, and
Shit happens, man.
shit happens, and
That's
so
life.
that's the thing. But it's definitely a hard road, but it's definitely worth it, and I'm glad that took the path I did to get here. But that's the thing. It's just keep pushing forward, keep looking ahead, keep your nose down, keep working, but also take time for yourself and the people you care about, and just be yourself. And I think everything will work out if you can just do that.
Oh yeah, yeah, love it, brother. But
Yeah, bro.
we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I know you got shit you got to do. You got to get
Yes,
up
sir.
early.
I,
So I appreciate you getting on, man.
heck yeah, man.
Really do appreciate it. So yeah,
Sweet, man. Well, I
that's it.
appreciate you having me, dude. I love the idea. Love the podcast. And, super honored that you thought of me to be on here. And definitely next time I'm in Dallas, which actually will probably be within the next 3 months, we'll link up and have some good bourbon together.
Holler at me, man. You got my
I'll
number.
I'll
So,
do it, brother.
but all right, guys. Appreciate y'all listening in. I'm out. Peace.